Hi, welcome. And another unashamed plug for a really cool band. There we go, Super Tiny. Check them out on Spotify. And my son is the lead guitarist for that band. And they are really, really good. Right, so this is a subject I really wish I didn't have to tackle. It's a subject, though, that is very real. And I have life coached many people of varying ages who have fitted into the bracket of being a self-harmer. Now, self-harming is when you deliberately hurt yourself and cause injury to your body in varying degrees. And this is done for a whole range of different reasons. And I want to explore some of that today. And I encourage you to, just sit back and listen to some of the things that I have to say. This comes out of a wealth of experience that I've had working with people that are struggling with certain issues. And if you are a parent and you feel that your child might be fitting into these categories, these are things just to be aware of. If you're a teacher, you'll be fully aware that some children of varying ages, once again, very young primary school kids, certainly high school children, are finding themselves drawn into a cycle of self-abuse where they feel they need to hurt themselves to give themselves an outward expression of an inward feeling. That's how I like to define it. It's an outer expression of an inner feeling. They're feeling something inside that they don't feel they can adequately express. And so they hurt themselves for various reasons. Firstly, because they feel it's a transfer of the inner pain to the outer side of themselves. Secondly, because they feel that they deserve to be punished and therefore must be hurt. Thirdly, it's a distraction because if they're focusing on the pain on their body where they've just injured themselves, it takes their mind off the worry that is currently on their mind and has been hurting them psychologically. It's like that belief that if you're injured on one part of your body, but you injure another part of your body even worse, you tend to focus on that and you forget about the other injury. And so, if you are a self-harmer, and I don't want to mention types of self-harming, as I don't want to give vulnerable people any ideas here, but there are some very sad ways in which people have chosen to hurt their own bodies. And I will mention one of the most basic ones where it starts as a child is sometimes kids banging their heads against a wall. And sometimes they just do it out of pure frustration and they don't actually go on to full self-harming, but it is a start. It's an entry level kind of harming where they're hurting themselves to express an inner feeling. So before harming yourself, I want to ask you a few questions. Firstly, or should I say, I want to give you these questions to ask yourself. First one is, why do I feel I need to hurt myself? What is that thing deep inside you that's making you say, I've really got to do this. I have to now hurt myself. Secondly, what has happened to make you feel like that? What was the trigger point? What was that one thing that made you cross over that line from just sitting in class or sitting watching TV at home or sitting with your friend in a coffee shop to suddenly feeling, I need to do this? Let me ask you this, though. Before you hurt yourself, how do you feel at that particular moment? How would you define what is going through you? Have you been through that before? What did you do to deal with it last time? And the last time you hurt yourself, did it help? Did it make all the problems go away? Or once you had healed up from that and once you had stopped from harming yourself, were the problems still there? What have you done to make yourself feel better so that you actually diverted yourself away from the harming? What can you do that will not hurt you but will still make you feel like you've expressed yourself to a satisfactory level? How do you feel while you're actually hurting yourself? And a lot of young people will say to me, I really feel pain. It's genuine pain that I'm feeling. How do you feel after you've hurt yourself? Do you feel satisfied, proud? Do you feel that you've achieved something? And some young people have said to me, well, yes, actually, I do. I feel like I've diverted the pain from inside to outside, and it was a bit of a pressure release. And I'll say to them, yes, a pressure release with now a permanent scar. So in other words, you've given yourself a permanent solution to a temporary problem. A permanent solution to a temporary problem, because there are adults walking around today with self-harming scars and marks all over themselves. And they're saying, this was just a very difficult time in my teenagehood, and I wish somebody had just given me some better advice so that I didn't do this, because now I've got a problem. Because now I'm finding it hard to be employed with all these marks all over my body that are so visible. I'm finding it hard for people to take me seriously. It's a distraction. People look at the marks instead of looking at me. How will you feel tomorrow after you've hurt yourself? And I know that a lot of young people feel regret, they feel shame, they feel guilt, they feel like they've put their parents through something terrible again, that they've upset their friends again. Then they go into a cycle of guilt, and the guilt drives them to self-harm again because they feel now they need to punish themselves. So my advice to you, and I take this very, very seriously. I want you to know that I take you very seriously. Your life is incredibly precious. I want you to write down how you are feeling when you are feeling that angst, when you're feeling that anxiety, when you're feeling that panic, when you're feeling that anger, rage, hurt, whatever it is, before you do it. Write down what you are feeling, take that piece of paper, tear it or rip it up. There's a psychological release in doing that. I know, I've seen it happening right in front of me. Maybe punch a punch bag or kick something soft. Punch the pillow on your bed. There's a lot of pillows getting abused around this country from the advice that I've given young people to rather punch the pillow. The pillow can take it. Scream into the pillow. You can't do that, obviously, if you're at school. If you're at school, I say to people, if you feel this real desire just to feel a little bit of pain, do something that does no harm. And so put an elastic band around your wrist and rather just twang the elastic band. I know some people that do that and they say, wow, that was the diversion I was looking for. I got no permanent scars. And I actually feel that maybe I'll be able to cope better in the future. Squeeze an ice cube in your hands. You'll feel that. And no harm is being done. But what's also great is the ice cube slowly melts away. And as it melts away, you actually feel your anxiety and you feel your anger and your tension melting away with it. Here's an interesting one. I actually saw this from a psychologist who said, bite into a really hot chili or a piece of ginger. Bite into a really hot chili. If you've got chilies lying around the house, it's not self-harm, but you are really feeling some pain. If you've ever had a super hot curry, you will know what I'm talking about. But let's get more practical. How about go for a run? Get your trainers on, go for a run, exercise, go to the gym, play a sport, go for a swim if you're able to do that. Go to a friend's house, go to a relative's house, somebody that really makes you feel relaxed. Just pop around there and say, hi, can I just hang out here for a little bit, not feeling so good? You don't even have to tell them how you're feeling. Can I just hang out with you, maybe do some gaming, go for a ride on our bikes or something? Also, you can pamper yourself. Have a bath with some bath oil if you're an adult. A lot of adults self-harm as well. Pour yourself a nice hot bath, doesn't matter the time of day, and get some bath oils and maybe some scented candles. Treat yourself a little bit. Put on some of your favorite music. Do something active. Clean up your house or clear out the wardrobe or something. Go for a walk. Choose a random object and think of 30 different uses for it. That's something that immediately occupies your mind. It's quite taxing, so you feel like there's an element of pain involved in that because you're having to think, and you maybe give yourself a time limit, and there's a stopwatch that's running down. Now, some of these might sound like silly suggestions, but actually these are recommended by some psychologists and some psychiatrists, certainly life coaches like myself, because I've seen a lot of these things actually working. You are too valuable to be messed around with. Please take yourself seriously. You've got so much to offer, and please do not make a permanent decision for a temporary problem. If you'd like to get hold of me, if you'd like to reach out to me, I'd be more than happy to help. I do offer sessions on Zoom. I do offer sessions in person if you happen to be here where I live in the UK. But I'd love to be of assistance. Now, this is a serious issue. Have a chat to your family doctor. Talk to a registered psychiatrist or psychologist. Have a chat if you're a child to parents. If you're an adult, please do talk to a medical practitioner or a life coach that's had experience in dealing with this sort of thing. All right, you are so, so valuable, and I'll see you again really soon.